Hi, and welcome to the Sublime Text Editor part. In this part, we will address a couple of Sublime functions. But what is Sublime? I mentioned it earlier in the previous chapters. It is a sophisticated and slick web editor for code markup and prose. We will address the function goToAnything. With goToAnything, you can open files with only a few keystrokes and instantly jump into any symbols, lines, or words inside your application. For those of you who don't have Sublime Text Editor, I suggest you to download it. Just in Google, download Sublime Text Editor, then it will do the trick. For those of you who have access to the exercise file, open the section 1.3 exercises, then drag it. I insist on dragging it into Sublime Text Editor. The purpose of it is to have the folder inside the project section in here so that you can access it. Without wasting any time, I'm just going to talk straight to the goToAnything function. With Ctrl P, just two keystrokes, you have an access to all the files that are inside your project. I will start with student, like that, Ctrl P, then index. You see how easy it is. Then I will just open style.css. Just two keystrokes and the file is open already. That's what it is. So I will go to student.js in here. I will use another extension of the function goToAnything. That will allow me to jump straight into a function. All I need to do is press Ctrl R, and I have this. I can choose to go to the function speak. Then my cursor points straight there in here. I can choose to go to the function student. And it points straight there. And I can navigate toward all the instances of student in here. And my function point, my pointer is straight onto student. I can also choose to use the symbol with Ctrl and semicolon, and I can navigate and get to any of the symbol inside my application. For instance, I can just type console, and it points straight into console in here. Then the last thing I want to illustrate with the function goToAnything is the line number. That is quite important. It is with Ctrl and G, Ctrl G, and I can just type 48, and I'm there. The function goToAnything comes pretty handy when you want to be a fast developer and get the most of your application. Then we will talk about multiple selection. Multiple selection is one of the most challenging when it comes to the function of Sublime Text Editor, because first of all, a lot of people don't really use it, but I found it pretty handful. So let me illustrate it. But what it is in the first place, you can make 10 changes at the same time, not one change 10 times. Multiple selection allow you to interactively change many lines at once, rename variables with ease, and manipulate files faster than ever. Okay, let me illustrate it for you. I invite you to just Ctrl P and open the file sublime.txt that is inside your project. Let's say I want to put all these in one line. Instead of going one by one and actually selecting each one and pressing backspace, I can select all of them, then press Ctrl, Shift, and L. I have a lot of cursor. The whole thing is 19 cursor and 20 cursor, and I just press back once and backspace and space, and everything is in one line. That's amazing. Another thing I can do is simply just choose two words. I can decide to just choose the one and one, and I press Ctrl D. I have another instance of one selected, and I can replace it with William, and all of them are replaced. Just to show you how it is in one line, in one column, I choose, let's say, two, and I press Ctrl D, and I can just easily replace it with William. And hey, I am here. And I can edit a lot of lines at the same time. The last thing, but not the least, I want to illustrate is I can actually choose where I want my multiple cursor to be. I can choose 5 here, I can choose 7 in here, and I can choose 6 in here. Then I can actually just decide to delete it. This wraps up the multiple selection. And one last thing I want to address is one as important as the other one. It is also the split editing. With split editing, you can get the most of your widescreen monitor. With split editing support, edit files side by side or edit two locations in the one file. You can edit with as many rows and columns as you wish. So let me show you that. Let's say I have the file student in here, but at the same time I want to develop on index.html. So all I have to do is press Alt, Shift, and I press 2. Like that. And I can press Ctrl 1 to go back to the first panel. I just choose my index in here, and I press Ctrl Shift 2 to move it in there. Then I can have my student in here, .js, and I can have index.html in here, side by side. Or even I can just use the go to anything, Control P in here, and open students. And I can edit the same file on different location. So that in here, I can just type function, and it appears everywhere else. Man, then this. So this wraps up all the function of Sublime Text Editor. I hope it will just help you get advanced and fastest development as much as it can. I found it pretty handy, and I hope you guys will do a great use of it.